Before we get into today's video, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody, everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. We are almost into September. How? We're getting on to the holiday season of 2021. We're about to be in 2022. Like, is it just that there's so much that's been going on in these past couple years that it just seems like they have flown by? Is it just me? Just me? Okay. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the beyond highly requested Summer Wells case. Now, me and my Patreons, we have talked about this briefly over there. If you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon. It's linked below. I also have an Instagram link below, and I also have a second channel. All of those linked below. However, I've been completely invested and engulfed in this case, but I kept thinking that little Summer Wells was going to turn up at some point, or we were going to find out something. You guys, I have got to stop today's video and tell y'all about today's sponsor, Confessions of a Rebel. You guys, hear me out. Now, I know I look a hot mess, but I just got back from a run, as you guys can see, and I wanted to tell y'all about this brand today because I can still smell this on me after running outside for an hour and a half, and this is a win for me. Confessions of a Rebel blend traditionally feminine notes with masculine undertones and vice versa to create a fragrance that are anything but ordinary. This scent right here, this Get a Room, y'all, when I tell y'all right here, this is so sexy and unique. It's nothing I've ever smelt before. This makes me feel like I am eating at an elegant dinner with my man. I lean over for a kiss. Now, they also sent me their travel pack, and you can also get these in the travel scents if you want to try the different scents. The ones that they sent me in the travel box is the Get a Room. So if you want to try it like this and try these scents, you can get that one as well, the sexy scent. Love High and Be Pleased. So let me tell you guys about the Love High. This is very light and flirty. There's some peach in there, like a peachy scent. This is definitely a daytime scent. The Be Pleased. This is in between sexy and daytime flirty. This is definitely I'm a businesswoman. I've come in to run the meeting. I'm showing you PowerPoints, but also we're going to wine tasting after that. That is what this scent is. You guys have got to try it for yourself. And if you do, make sure you use my code so you can save 20% off. Just go down to the description box and click the link and just put that code in and you'll get 20% off. Thank you, Confessions of a Rebel, for sponsoring today's video. If you guys do not know, Summer Wells was an adorable 5-year-old little girl who went missing on June 15th of this year, 2021. And it's just another one of those cases where it's like so much information. You guys, when I tell you the rabbit hole goes deep, I'm talking about just when you think you've got your mind wrapped around some things, more information comes out, and it is a lot. So unfortunately, since we don't know where Summer is yet, I decided that I would go ahead and do the video. This video is going to be basically telling you guys the whole story about the day that she went missing, all of that stuff. And I'm also going to give you guys some more information about some different things. There is many twists and turns in this. There's a bunch of discrepancies. There has been multiple stories given, all of that. This will be a 5-hour-long video if I try to do it all in one video. So if you want a part 2 and 3, and when I tell you it gets, I don't want to say juicy because that may not be the appropriate word for this type of thing, but the family dynamic, It's hard to wrap your head around. I'll tell you that. If you want more, like the video and let me know down below. I obviously don't want to do videos on things that you guys are not interested in, but this is a cold case, and hopefully we're going to find Summer, or find out what happened to her. 5-year-old Summer Wells lived at home with her father, Don Wells, with her mother, Candace Wells, and her 3 older brothers. They lived on a big piece of property out in a rural area that was about 11 acres, a little over 11 acres, which is quite a bit. It's a nice chunk of property. Just to give you guys some sort of guesstimate, typical neighborhoods here in Florida, the houses are built on about a quarter of an acre, okay? About a quarter of an acre. They lived on 11 acres. So it's Summer, her mom, her dad, her 3 older brothers, and her grandmother, Candace, lived on the property as well. So you've got Candace the mother and Candace the grandma, and we're just going to refer to grandma as grandma so we don't get them confused because of the names. On this day, on June 15th, at around 6:30 in the morning, Don Wells' alarm went off. He got up to go to work like he typically does. He said that he looked over, he saw Summer was laying next to him. He said that his 5-year-old daughter was very much attached to him and was a huge daddy's girl. So she was sleeping in the bed with him and Candace, her mom. He got up at 6:30, saw them, and by 7 a.m. he left the house to go to work. Now around 7:30 a.m., Candace said that she got up because she had to take her mother, grandma, to the hospital for an appointment. And their plan was for the day that Candace the mother was going to take her 5-year-old little girl Summer, and her grandma to the hospital and leave the 3 older boys at home. Now, this kind of atmosphere at this house was very, very what I would call backwoods country, and different people live in the country. I feel like I live country. I'm about to be living really country, which I'm super excited about here soon. But not everybody that lives in the country lives the same, okay? They live on this big piece of property. They got these much older houses. Inside the house, it's really crammed with a bunch of things that they probably need and probably a lot of things they don't need. When you look at it, a lot of stuff seems kind of maybe dirty, and I don't say that in a negative way. I mean, different people live different ways, okay? It does. Like the toys and stuff of Summers that I saw outside, they were kids' stuff. They were playing in the dirt, dirty stuff, whatever. And it's a lot of terrains, okay? A lot of hills and drop-offs in this area, and not a grocery store for quite a ways away. I mean, I looked at it from a Google map, their house, and I mean, it's a lot of greenery for a long ways, okay? And the 3 older boys were just going to stay at home this day, play their little Minecraft and their tablets, and the mom, the grandmother, and little 5-year-old Candace was going to go to the doctor's appointment. At 8 a.m., they dropped grandma off at the hospital, and Candace and Summer sit in the parking lot in the car. Now they sit there, they're playing on their phones, they're doing whatever they're doing. Now this is according to Candace. And then around 10:30 a.m., Candace gets a phone call from a family friend named Hunter. Now Hunter is a 14-year-old little boy. Later on in another video, if you want this, I'll start telling you guys how stories don't line up and how they don't match. But right now we're going to go with Candace's story to keep this kind of on track, to give y'all an overview of what allegedly happened this day, okay? So Candace said around 10:30 a.m., Hunter, 15-year-old little Hunter, called her and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we're sitting in the car waiting on grandma. She's having her doctor's appointment." And Hunter said, "Well, y'all want to come over, hang out, sit over here?" And Candace said, "Well, you need to ask your mom." Now, the relationship between Candace and Hunter's mom is they used to be best friends. They had a falling out. Allegedly, CPS was called and there was a bunch of drama and all that stuff. We can get to that in a later video. However, Candace was still very close with her son, Hunter. Some drama came up and people were speculating, was this an inappropriate relationship? But Hunter and Candace both say no. Candace said the reason why she was involved in Hunter's life was like he was kind of like a little son to her, and he was like a big brother to Summer. And sometimes she'd go pick him up and take him to do things with him because he didn't really get to do a lot of stuff at home with his home life. And she'd pick him up, let him come over, and then drop him off just like another one of her sons. So Hunter asked his mom, and his mom said, "I don't care if they come over, but not for long." Candace and Summer drive to Hunter's house, and it is alleged that Candace arrived at Hunter's house at around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So that leaves about 2.5 to 3 hours of a span that we don't really know where they were, that Candace said she was sitting in the parking lot. Nevertheless, they got there, they hung out for a bit, and around 11 a.m., Grandma called, said she was done with the appointment and that they needed to go back and pick her up. Hunter asked his mom, could he go hang out with Candace and them, run errands or whatever. And she said, sure, you can go for a little bit, but then you need to come back. So they had decided that they were going to go to like this water area or whatever. So he put on a swimsuit, and Candace said she already had Summer dressed in her swimsuit. They hopped into the car and then they left. After they picked up Grandma from the hospital, they went to a smoke shop. Candace went inside. She bought 3 nicotine vapes. Okay. They left from there and they went to Walgreens. When they went to Walgreens, they dropped off Grandma's prescription that she had just gotten, and Walgreens allegedly told her it would be about 30 minutes to fill the prescription. So that's when they decided that they would go to this place nearby called Warrior Park. Now, Warrior Park, from the videos and stuff that I've seen, the area that they went to me kind of looked like a lake or like a little lake. It had water and you could drive up underneath these trees, and it wasn't anything professional looking. It's just like a water hole with trees. They pull up there and Summer and Hunter get out and they're splashing around in the water. They're playing. Grandma and Candace are sitting up there probably smoking, just sitting under there watching the kids play in the water and waiting for time to pass. At approximately 1:30, 1:35-ish p.m., they pick up the prescription from Walgreens that they had dropped off earlier. After they pick up the prescriptions, they go through Sonic drive-thru, they get some slushies, they stop by this little grocery store. Candace runs in and she said she got just a few things, some milk, some cheese, just little things that they needed. And at 2:30 p.m., they arrived at Hunter's house to drop Hunter off. Now, this is the last time Hunter would see Summer, okay? He said that when he saw her, that she was alive, she was fine, and she was in the backseat of the car. He went inside and they drove off. This is where things are going to get very fuzzy now and in videos to come if you want them, because this is the last time that anybody outside of the immediate family saw Summer alive. At around 3:09 p.m., there was a video taken of Summer sleeping in the back seat of the car on 2-gallon jugs of milk.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch, but... She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch, but...
The video kind of shows her just laid over sleeping, and allegedly Candace said that she handed the phone to her mom, Grandma, and said, film this video because she had her arm up and was sleeping just like her father, Don. Now, a lot of things were speculated about this. People thought, okay, maybe she was actually not alive here. But I did see videos of where like investigators and forensic investigators said that they fully believe that she was alive here sleeping on this milk because of her lip color. Her lips were still pink. And there was a lot of people that were saying, why would a little girl sleep on 2 cold jugs of milk? Well, I don't know about your kids, but honey, I done seen my kids sleep in all different kind of crazy ways. Jordan, when he was little, he literally would sleep with one arm up in the air or sleep with a leg up in the air on his stomach, and both of his legs would be up. Like, kids will sleep any doggone where if they're tired enough and you'll let them. However, I wasn't there. I don't fully know, but I do know that kids, when they're tired, it don't matter, okay? So then they drive home. Sometime after that 3:09 p.m., the 3 of them, the grandmother, Candace the mother, and Summer arrive at the house. Now, Candace said she got out, she unloaded the little groceries that she had. She said Summer woke up immediately and got up and got out of the car with the grandmother. She said that after they put the groceries up, that the grandmother, Candace, and Summer began to plant flowers outside or plant little plants, succulents, or they planted something.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer. which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight.
She said when she couldn't find Summer, she immediately called Don, which was Summer's father and her husband, and said that Summer was gone. Don then immediately calls 911 and said that his daughter was missing. Candace said she walked all around looking for her. She checked that basement door because there's an actual basement door that opens from the back, and there's a pretty crazy steep terrain that goes down. She said she could not remember if that back door was actually locked or not, and that she walked around to the swing. She went to the grandma's house, where she had also said that she had went for that 2 to 3 minutes and was helping the grandma with her knee brace. There was multiple stories about what she was doing in that only 2 to 3 minutes, according to Candace. Again, we're going to get there. She looked everywhere for her. She also said that she called Don, and Don told her to call 911, and she freaked out and she threw the phone down into Don's truck. She ran over to her mother's house, which is the grandmother, and used the phone and called 911 herself. Candace then said that she did not want to wait for 911 to get there, that she jumped in the vehicle and she started driving around looking for her frantically. She said she didn't see any cars or anything, and she was just absolutely freaking out. Candace said that Summer would not leave her side. Now, that is the most consistent story. Well, one of the most consistent stories that I've heard of the family is that Candace was not the type of child that would leave. She would not just walk off. They said that they had told her many stories that there were bears in this area. You guys remember, it is a lot. It's a rural area. It is a lot of trees and, the little river down there, and just not a lot of houses or anything, no stores, nothing, not a lot of traffic. It's a rural area, and that she would not walk off. She would not just walk out the door and decide she was going to go off with somebody. Now that I've hopefully simply laid out the story of what happened on the day that Summer Wells went missing, let's talk about a few things. Again, if you want me to do the part 2s and 3s and really dive in deep about the family's background and all of this stuff, then let me know. However, Candace's story has not lined up with what happened that day with Hunter's story, and it's also changed a little bit. Not to get into all of that right now, but the things that's changed about her story, to me, seems kind of minute. To me, it seems like she may be trying to hide something, but I don't think she's trying to hide that she knows where her daughter went. She and both Dawn did allegedly pass lie detector tests. So did the grandmother. Allegedly, all three of them passed lie detector tests. Now, I know that they're not admissible in court. I know that, there's people that say that you can learn how to pass a lie detector test. For me, seeing these people and watching videos, I just don't think they're the type of people that have that type of training to pass a lie detector test. However, is there other ways that they could have passed it? I don't know, okay? But this little girl is still missing. She's been missing since June 15th. Some really upsetting and disturbing things about this is she went missing allegedly at like 5:30 in the evening on just a regular day out of her home, okay? Allegedly, she was taken out of her home because the mother and father and the grandmother and everybody else that knew Summer said she would not walk away. In a rural area, they alone live on over 11 acres, okay? If you're not safe in that type of area, I don't know what. Now, there has been different interviewers that has spoken to Dawn and Candace, and that is what makes this case very unique to me, is that the parents, Dawn and Candace, have spoken out to social media, in the media, more than I've ever seen anybody speak out in these types of things. The things that they say sometimes are very strange to me. Like in the very, very beginning, Don Wells, the father, would say things like he thought that she was taken by, the trafficking. I don't want to get flagged here on YouTube, you guys. They're very sensitive with these words. He immediately said that he thought somebody had kidnapped her and took her far, far, far away. It's like he was not interested in the notion that she could be somewhere in that area, that she could have fell somewhere or anything, like could have been an accident. It was just immediately his thought was that she had been taken far away. Now, he would also later say that that's because he always had a pit in his stomach and thought something bad was going to happen to Summer. He actually said that he had told his wife, Candace, many times before over the years that he was worried that something would happen to Summer. So in his mind, or by what he is saying, that he kind of always knew something was going to happen to her, and he was very overprotective of her because of that. That's what he says. Now, Don and Candace, okay, but we're going to start with Don, to say he has a colorful past is an understatement. Yes, he's been to prison. Yes, he's been arrested, but that's honestly not even the worst of it. He's been accused of some beyond disturbing things, okay? And he also has other children that are not the 4 that he has with Candace. Candace also has a little light bit of a colorful past. She has other children too that are not those 4, that do not live with her either, that there's been some very upsetting and disturbing things about those children that have been said as well. So we can get into that into other videos if you guys want to. The 3 little boys that were the older boys that were at the house have since been removed. So Candace and Summer have no children in their custody now. So for whatever reason, CPS came in and removed those children from the house. Okay, there's another thing, and this is just like a little sneak peek of another video. Dawn was asked in an interview, and this is what disturbs me because I really go back and forth with if I think the parents were involved in any way. And again, I can tell you guys all that in another video, just from stuff that they have put out into social media themselves. I mean, it's like Dawn can't stop talking. I know the investigators are just sitting around writing it all down. However, if they had enough evidence to think he was involved, they would have arrested him by now, and they obviously don't. Now, mind you guys, she's been gone for like almost 2.5 months at this point. Okay, this isn't just a joke where she's been missing for 30 minutes, right? And she's hiding over at a friend's house eating cookies and laughing. Okay, this is 2.5 months she's been gone. He's said since then that he thinks that she's not alive, which is obviously not the way that I would react as a mother. I would literally hold out hope and be searching all day, every day until either my dying breath or until I found my child. But not everybody is like me, and I'm not like everybody else. So he has said that he thinks that she's already dead and that he's going to see her again during the resurrection. That's what he said about his daughter. But in this interview, the question that he was asked that really kind of messed with me was, the interviewer asked him, what should happen to the person that took your daughter Summer? And his response was something to the lines of, well, I don't know, if I ever seen anybody hurt a child, then I would just jump right in. And the interviewer said, no. Should the person go to prison? And he said, nah, I wouldn't wish prison on anybody, man. It'd have to be, I've been to prison and bad stuff happens to prison, and I wouldn't wish prison on anybody. That really kind of rubbed me wrong, you guys. Because you can believe one thing. If you take my child or hurt my child, I want you under the you know what I mean? Like at that point, if you hurt any child, if you are deliberately hurting a child, yeah, you need to be in prison. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? And that just kind of made me go, And then also the other facts of like, just to drive to this house, you have to drive up a terrain. Candace has to unlock this gate for you to come into their area where they live. There's all these dogs in the woods. I want to say they said there was like 13 dogs. Candace and Dawn said that people would just drop off dogs at their house. I don't know if I believe that. I believe maybe some of it would happen, but I also think that they could be the type of people that they have so much property, the dogs live outside, that they get a new puppy every time they see a cute free one. I have seen people like that before. The dogs all live outside. They don't care how many dogs they got. They got 15 dogs out there. They just put dog food and water outside, and every time their kid wants a new puppy, they say fine because it ain't hurting them none. The dog's outside. But nevertheless, there's tons of dogs there. How did somebody get up to this property to take this baby girl out of the house? If she was abducted, then somebody, in my opinion, had to have known the family because it's a rural area. So there's a lot of speculation going around. There's many different theories about what happened to this baby girl. I just hope and pray that she is alive. And if you guys know anything, please contact the Hawkins County Police Department. If you don't know anything, though, don't overwhelm. In any of these cases that are like currently being investigated, don't overwhelm them with information just for the fun of it. In this case, they had already gotten, like in the beginning, over 900 tips, and they had to comb through all of them and nothing has turned up yet that we know of. Now, the investigators, they could know a whole lot that we don't know. I mean, that happens all the time. Different investigators, people that worked on cases like this, like thousands of cases, said that typically in these cases, it is very, very rare that the person that takes the child does not know the family or isn't a family member or something like that. However, I definitely don't, even though a lot of things are weird and a lot of things are very, very weird. You never want to blame the parents if they're already grieving if their child is missing, right? But this case is so strange, and there's so many like twists and turns and dark holes. And at the end of the day, this baby girl is still missing. She's still gone. And where did she go? And who took her? And what happened? And if the parents were involved, how did they pass a polygraph test? You know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below. Let me know if you guys want me to keep going with this case or if you're ready for me to move on to the next case. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like it. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust.